So I've been doing it for the last couple, I think the last two times. After I got Luocha, I was able to auto battle it. I tried it yesterday and it was a little odd. I did 10 yesterday before reset. And because I went to a new speed set, Luocha's ult did not perfectly line up. Who's even the speed set? This guy. His when he got his ults ready, it no longer timed up perfectly with when the tree guy got his buff. So he was doing it like a turn early, but we were still able to beat it in time. But with this new one, maybe? I don't really know. We're just gonna try it. Ugh. I wish you could like group them. But yeah, I just haven't recorded it for
preservation.
Show your courage. The enemy situation has changed.
for this. And I kind of that's all I really wanted to do.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies.
Funny thing was, it was also beating it like you have to do two sides, and it was beating it with Ying Quing doing like basic attacks and then like autoing or alting, so that like his ult didn't have like the bonus. But I thought that was the funniest part about it, that like it was actually like making it while doing it.
Lance, forward.
Nap time. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
I'm with you.
Trouble. Let's wait.
Shift
Proceed.
the balance.
I'm with you.
Cool it.
Good one.
Repay.
Wait for a second.
Fight is one! Swords descend!
A will forged in ice never falters.
Blade and flight!
The dead return.
Strike with heart! Victory by the blade. Let's go say hi.
Oh, I totally forgot. So I think it was
A will forged
probably
in
like the
ice
first or second day
never
that the
falters.
pass came out. I finally finished upgrading all of the traces on all of the characters. And all of the relics. Not all the like the greatest. Like you could farm more. But I think I'm just gonna try and take a break from it.
Is that a will forged in ice
Like
never falters.
it's kind of fun, but like it's also not that fun at the same time.
Blade and flight! Swords descend!
Why are there two of them?
The dead return.
I actually don't. Well, I think this one will go fine because I remember this happened before. I think it's like 7 or 6 that I was kind of worried about when I started watching, where they had like a better monkey.
Strike with heart.
The dead return.
Wait, do they just keep spawning?
A will forged in ice never falters. Is that all?
And I got the energy regen ropes. I ended up just like using the rest of them, like the crafting things to get the energy regen ropes.
Strike with heart.
A will forged in ice never falters.
Blade and flight. Swords descend. Victory by the blade. Fight is one. Strike with heart.
The dead return.
A will forged in ice never falters.
Blade and flight. Swords descend.
Is that all?
Enemies ahead. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. A sharp scythe new. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Forward!
Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Lend me your strength. Enemies ahead. Upper. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Lance! Forward!
I'm gonna watch a video while this is happening.
By now, you might have already seen some headlines talking about the fact that we know when Arcane 2 is going to come out. But what many people may not realize is that if you look around, there is a lot of dots that you can connect. And you might very quickly find out that Riot is probably planning a lot of big things in the background. Which is something I'm going to show you today. But very quickly, before we get into it, I just wanted to mention that this might be your last chance to get one of our plushies. If you'd like to support this channel, there is only 3 days left on these. But now, back into animation. So, it's been a while since we got to talk about Arcane. And to be honest, throughout that entire journey, I think I made my peace. We covered absolutely everything we could, we talked about everything we found, and we even talked about what's possible to see in the future. Wondering how well that one will age, but now, after quite a while of silence, we finally got some new information. And of course, that information did not come out the way Riot was planning. They really don't have the best luck when it comes to pre-planning reveals. Anyway, it all goes back to Tencent, the majority stakeholder of Riot Games, who had their own conference. It was a little presentation, which I assume was aimed at investors, where they talked about their plans, but also how the company is doing and so on. But during these presentations, oftentimes they also want to hype up the investors, so they can also talk about the products they are working on in greater detail. And on one of the slides, they talked about Arcane 2. I assume the reason they brought it up is because Arcane 2 is gonna be a big moment for all the investors, so they wanted to prepare them ahead of time. But what they likely did not realize is that the official release date for Arcane 2 was not announced yet. And still, they put it onto the presentation, and now we know that Arcane 2 will come out during Q4 of 2024. Or in other words, at the end of 2024. And in other words, for the other words, they are likely aiming for a similar release date as Arcane 1, which means it will tie into the hype of the end of the season as well as Worlds. But more importantly, there is one more thing happening here. Q4 of 2024 is when League's 15th anniversary is happening. League was released on October 27th, 2009. So maybe that's the date they are aiming for. The day after my birthday! They are totally doing it for me. So yes, don't forget that the 15th anniversary will do a lot. Not only was the 10th anniversary my favorite moment in video game history, simply because I've been tied to Riot so closely, but also when Arcane launched, all the collabs and events were crazy. From all the events in games to events in other games, to the amazing browser adventure game, to all the teasers that were happening IRL. I really wouldn't be surprised if they pushed for big things. And if, for example, Project L got an early playable demo during that time. I definitely wouldn't have any hopes for the MMO though. Regardless, what I'm saying is, you should definitely be hyped for Arcane 2. Not just for the show itself, but also for everything else that will be happening around it. Because they are merging so many things. You got 2 big events and the fact that Riot knows that Arcane 2 will be big. So really, expect big things. Hype has no limits. Surely nothing bad will happen if we overhype things. So now, once again, we got an opportunity to talk about what might actually be happening. So, in case you forgot, when Arcane 1 finished, we did actually get a teaser for Arcane 2. It was really just the letter A and the number 2 floating around, with the announcement that Arcane 2 is now in works. It was a quick animation done by I Love Dust Studio and Luke Brown, done in Houdini. That's a fun fact for you. But besides that, not much was happening here. You could hear Caitlyn's voice talking about Jinx and how she was wondering if Jinx would murder her or bye. Jinx then had her little crazy talk, and at the end you hear the echoes of Warwick's howl and a little bit of his theme. Which is why it is pretty obvious that Warwick will play a big part here. However, not all things are always as they may seem. Because in the past, when Riot released all the trailers for Arcane 1, they really mastered the deception. They very purposefully put trailers together using footage from the show, but cutting it in a way so you would never have any idea what is actually gonna happen in the show. I remember I was very confident in thinking I knew what is gonna happen, at least roughly. And then I remember how wrong I was with all of my predictions, which surprised me and it made me very happy. It means that everyone can watch all the trailers and be totally fine. So if there is one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's the fact that when trailers for Arcane 2 are going to come out, you should watch them knowing that you will not be spoiled. Yes, you will see some scenes from the show, but there is no way you can pick apart any of the story. Riot themselves don't want to spoil anything, and they are aware of the fact that they don't need to spoil anything in order to hook people for the story. So, just go wild and know that most of the theories are going to be wrong. Especially mine. I hit like one theory and that's the one with Jinx's eyes. That was a pretty cool one.
Is that all?
Outside of that, I missed a lot. Speaking of which, we can also talk about what will likely be in Arcane 2. I don't think this is a spoiler because it was proven that Arcane has a totally different story from the core League universe. But based on the core League universe, we at least still know what characters will appear in Arcane. Or at least could appear. Because some of them are still missing. So I don't know if you want to consider this a spoiler. I don't think it is. I think it's more of a theory that is gonna be wrong yet again. Anyway, one of my favorite characters in Arcane was Victor. The version of his story we got in the core League universe was always stellar, even though Legends of Runeterra and also Convergence are painting him as a weird villain. But besides that, I always loved him, and I also love him in Arcane. There are some differences there. For example, in Arcane, he's more focused on the magic part of his affliction. But I have to say, the scene where he started running for the first time was so godly. And honestly, in Arcane 2, I just really want to see his journey of improving his own body. What I believe will happen is that Victor's body will become more and more volatile. Or at the very least, his mind will probably start to break. Because he's essentially infusing his body with magic using Shimmer. Not to mention the fact that Shimmer likely has some links to the Void, which is not gonna be nice. But of course we learned that magic can be controlled with science. And so he will likely mechanically augment his body to keep himself intact. This is a totally wild guess. But I think this is how you can turn his journey into an emotional roller coaster. His condition starts to get better using magic or anti-magic until it turns volatile and his only option is to fix his own body using science. However, there is also one more thing Victor is heavily connected to, and that's Blitzcrank. He is the one who created Blitzcrank. Originally, he created this golem to help Zonites deal with chemical disasters. It is literally a helping robot sentient enough to wander the streets on its own. And honestly, I am very curious to see how Riot will tackle this. Now, another amazing character I loved in Arcane was Singed. In the core universe, Singed is the best, creepiest, horror-filled mad scientist we can get. Now, even though his Arcane version is good too, he is miles ahead in the core universe. And I hope Arcane will start catching up with that. Because there, he really shines as a mad scientist with all the right reasons, but who will never be stopped by morale at any point. Singed still has the best horror story from League's universe, and there he's just doing all of his experiments. That one really shows what he's capable of doing to other people. And since Warwick will likely be part of Arcane 2, I am pretty sure we will learn what he's truly about. And some people might get surprised. And yes, I believe he will also have all the right reasons in Arcane 2. Because remember, at the end of Season 1, it was teased that Singed might have a daughter. Whether that one will turn out to be Oriana, time will tell. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was doing all the experiments with Shimmer just because he wants to find a way to heal his daughter. Or alternatively, bring her back. But next, we should not forget about Heimerdinger and Echo. These two are not something I expected to see, but I am really looking forward to this one because these two will make a really good dynamic duo. At first, it might seem like a master and apprentice, but there is honestly a lot more to this. For example, the two are the exact opposites of each other. Heimerdinger's story is all about the descent into Zone. He was pretty much rejected by Piltover's high society. But on the other side, you have Echo, who is being lifted up with technology. He is still a true Zoneite, I don't think anything will change that. But his tech will get refined. And eventually, he will also make his Z-Drive, which is the device that will allow him to travel back in time a few seconds. I would honestly also love some cameos from some other characters, such as Professor Von Yip or even Camille, but at this point I believe Arcane 2 will focus on smaller stories that are part of a greater picture. So just like in Arcane 1 you had Jinx and Vi on one side, and Jace and Victor on the other side, with Singed, Silco and Vander in the middle, I think Arcane 2 will focus on Jinx, Vi, Caitlyn and Savika on one side, Victor and Singed both augmenting bodies on the other side, which also includes Warwick, and Heimerdinger and Echo in the middle. I don't think they really need to shove in more characters such as Urgot or Zeri. Although, speaking of Urgot, I do believe we will see more of the entire Noxian storyline. Remember, spoiler alert, there are many theories that suggest that Mel will survive. And if she survives, she will not be in a great condition. Which means that Noxians will likely try to replace her. So maybe Noxus will play a bigger role here. Which means, and this is the reason why I brought this up in the first place, Urgot might make an appearance. Originally, Urgot was a Noxian general who was betrayed and he was sent into Zoneite mines. Now, the timeline would be off by a few years, but at this point we know that Arcane is not afraid of changing the story if they want to make something good. So, who knows? Maybe. But next, there is one more thing we can mention. Remember, when it comes to League of Legends, Arcane 1 also gave us some skins. We got Jinx, Vi, Caitlyn and Jace, with Echo coming in a bit later. And I am pretty sure Arcane 2 will also give us some skins. Now, looking at the characters that will likely appear during Season 2, we can make some pretty good predictions when it comes to these skins. Right now, I feel really confident about two of them. Those would be Victor and Heimerdinger. Victor would be there to fill in the space next to Jace, and Heimerdinger simply has his own new cool design. That design is so cool, they even gave him his own plushie. So I think that's what we'll get. But still, that leaves us with two more open spaces. And I believe these will be filled with Arcane Singed, who might also be connected to Arcane Warwick. I don't really feel that confident about Warwick, but who else are they gonna put there? And lastly, there's actually one more thing we can mention. Originally, for Arcane 1, Riot was planning some new champions to pick up the hype. In fact, they were planning on two new Zoneite champions to come out during Arcane. However, because of unfortunate delays, both of them were moved onto the next year. And those turned out to be Renata and Zeri. So now I'm wondering, is Riot planning more new champions tied to Arcane? Or at least tied to Piltover and Zone? I wonder if it's time. I wonder if Professor Von Yip will break through. But honestly, I would really love Savika as a champion too. That is such an underrated character. Right after Marcus. But you know what? I don't think Marcus is gonna make it as a new champion.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Never forget.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them! Nap time.
For your sins.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Lost my way.
I'm with you. Seize the initiative.
Let's wait.
Shift the balance. Cool it.
Repay.
Is that all?
Fight is one! Swords descend!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Yeah! Strike with heart!
The dead return!
Yeah! Blade and flight!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Strike with heart!
The dead return!
Yeah! Fight is one! Swords descend! Strike with heart!
Nothing major.
A will forged in ice never falters!
Blade and flight! Swords descend! Yeah! Strike with heart!
The dead return!
Our position is solid!
Blade and flight!
Stay focused! For glory! Is that all? A will forged in ice never falters!
It's not going well.
Fight is one! Swords descend!
It looks like this is not going well.
The dead return!
Yeah! Blade and flight!
Resistance is futile! It'll heal! A will forged in ice never falters!
Yeah! Strike with heart! Swords descend! Blade and flight!
On my command! Take courage!
Okay, then it tries. Oh no!
Fight is
I
one!
thought it would try to kill the ads. Oh, it does.
Strike
Okay.
with heart! Swords descend!
See, this is probably like 24 or something. Oh, it's 16. What?
Show your courage. Enemies ahead. Up for a scrap? Nap time. Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Remember this moment.
Lance! Forward!
Nap time. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Not a scratch.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Lend me your strength.
Hit!
That's better. Lend me your strength. Sagacious discernment.
That!
Nap time. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
I'm with you.
Let's wait.
Shift the back.
Proceed.
Cool it.
You wanna step away?
Repay.
Fight is one! Swords descend!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Yeah! Bladed flight!
The dead return!
Strike with heart!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Bladed flight! Strike with heart! Swords descend!
The dead return!
Fight is one! Bladed flight!
More. Okay.
Strike with heart! Swords descend! Bladed flight!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Strike with heart!
The dead return!
Fight is one! Swords descend! Bladed flight!
Gonna need this arm though, bud. Click on it.
Will of preservation!
Show your courage. Enemies ahead. Up for a scrap? Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. To guard and defend. Crush them. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Nap time. Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Lance! Forward!
Lend me your strength. Who's next?
I'm with you.
Let's wait.
Shift the balance. Cool it. That's a tough nut to crack.
Those goes.
Repay.
Fight as one! Swords descend!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Yeah! Strike with heart! Yeah! Blade and flight!
The dead return!
A will forged in ice never falters!
You paid for that! Yeah! Fight as one! Swords descend! Strike with heart!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Yeah! Blade and flight!
Oh, there's more. Okay.
Yeah! Strike with heart! Swords descend!
The dead return!
Is that all? A will forged in ice never falters!
Yeah! Bladed flush!
He never gets a turn.
Fight is won! Strike with heart! Swords descend! Yeah! Bladed flush!
The dead return!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Yeah! Strike with heart! Bladed flush! Swords descend!
My god, it chose the wrong one.
Yeah!
This is normally not that. Like, they're not 16, they're normally like 20. I don't know why. Is it just because it's, like there's no, like, character buff? Or, like, damage buff? This seems super lenient. Because I was never taking advantage of the damage buff ever.
Will of preservation!
Show your courage. Enemies ahead. Up for a scrap.
Alright.
Troublesome. That's better. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. That hurt. Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Lance! Forward!
Lend me your strength. Nap time. Troublesome. I'm okay here. To guard and defend. Crush them. Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. That's better. Sagacious discernment. Lend me your strength.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Lance! Forward!
Just hit with all of them?
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them!
I think she dies here.
Disappear
doesn't.
among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Troublesome.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Lend me your strength.
Right. I think next one is now.
I'm with you.
This one I'm kind of curious about.
Shift the
This
back.
one, it was really close yesterday.
That's a tough nut to crack.
Repay.
Immortality means forever.
Fight as one! Swords descend! Blade and flight!
A will forged in ice never falters.
Strike with heart!
The dead return!
A will forged in ice never falters.
Fight as one! Blade and flight! Swords descend! Strike with heart!
Not so fast. Feeling a little dizzy?
Blade and flight!
Something for everybody. Ready?
Talk!
A will forged in ice never falters.
Zoning out. I can help. Oops.
Impressive! Swords descend!
The dead return!
A will forged in ice never falters.
Fight as one! Strike with heart!
Not so fast. How does that feel?
Blade and flight! Swords descend!
Something for everybody. Ready?
Nothing
See you
major.
later.
The dead return!
Strike with heart!
Zoning out. I can help. Watch your feet.
Receive divinity.
A will forged in
Don't
ice
make it on this.
never falters.
Bloom. Repay. The dead return!
Blade
Kind
and
of,
flight!
they keep attacking the little piggies.
Feeling a little dizzy?
They just keep attacking the little piggies.
Fight as one! Swords descend!
It's like you don't even need these skill points.
Something for everybody.
underestimated
Ready?
you.
Bladed flight. Zoning out.
Nothing
I
major.
can help. Oops. Impressive.
Receive divinity. The dead return!
I think there's something with like the pigs taking damage from Luocha's ult that makes them want to target it.
Strike with heart. Swords descend. Not so
Is
fast.
that all?
How does that feel?
Well, oh, it's someone
Will
different now.
forged in ice never falters.
See you later.
that
Something for
all?
everybody. Ready?
Nothing major.
A will forged in ice never falters.
Bladed flight.
The
I
dead
wonder if it
return!
makes it. I think it makes it. If this is the first half, that'd be so sad. Oh, wait, it was 14. It wasn't. I thought it was about to be 16.
I'm with you.
Let's wait. Trouble ahead.
Shift the bow.
Proceed.
Cool it.
Repay.
Of immortality. Fight is one. Swords descend.
A will forged in ice never falters.
Bladed flight.
The dead return! Nothing major. Bloom.
Strike with heart. Swords descend.
Receive divinity. Repay.
Fight is one. Can we talk?
A will forged in ice never falters.
The dead return!
Bladed flight. Swords descend.
Two, okay. Ooh.
Is that all? A will forged in ice never falters.
Fight is one. Strike with heart. Swords descend. Bladed flight. Entangle.
Nothing major.
To my heart's content.
The dead return!
apart! Is that all? A will forged in ice never falters! Is that all?
Nothing major.
A will forged in ice never falters!
Blade and flight! Swords descend!
I swear.
Fight is won!
Keep attacking Piggy. Like, what do you even need these skill points for? Oh my.
The dead return!
Blade and flight! Swords descend! Strike with heart!
Is that all?
It looks like once they kill
Will
those
forged in
piggies,
ice
and there's only
never
one left,
falters!
any piggies that spawn after that, it's just not attacking. Or at least it's not prioritized.
Blade and flight!
Alright, and I think it's 14. Yeah, so we got
Will of
8 turns.
preservation!
Show your courage. Enemies ahead. Up for a scrap?
This is the last one.
Nap time. Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Lance! Forward!
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
This is requirement for 10 is normally
Disappear
around
among
20.
the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Oh, why it's so like why is it so tough?
I'm okay.
Like the other ones are like 18, 16, but the requirement's normally 24 for those. Like you start
Disappear
at
among the sea of butterflies.
24,
Illusions of the
22
past.
to 20.
Nap time. Lend me your strength.
Oh, why this is so different.
Lance! Forward!
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
It has 5 turns left.
Sword, heed me. Troublesome. Nap time. Lend me your strength.
Wait, did it not spawn because there's
To
a
guard
piggy
and
there?
defend. Crush them.
Well, actual.
Punish evil. I'm okay. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Alright, this guy needs to kill the
I'm
piggy.
okay. I'm just
Just add a
warming
skill
up.
point.
Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Lend me your strength.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Lance! Forward!
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Nap time.
Cut through the ranks.
What is that? Yo, I've never seen him do that before.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Lend me your strength.
Wait, why is it only... Why did 23k? I don't think we make it.
Sword, heed
It's
me.
14, I'm pretty sure. We're gonna try and kill the piggy and fail.
Lend me your strength.
What? Where's the ball? I don't see it.
To guard and defend. Crush them. Who's next?
Okay, maybe
Disappear
they
among
do
the
kill.
sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
I failed.
Well, that's the auto battle, I guess. Still didn't. I tried it with the other stuff the other day, and it still did not go through. Yeah. Well, I guess that's that.